Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ancient Voice Rising podcast. I am your host, Hera Dayani. I'd like to take a second and thank you for being here. Your presence is welcomed and loved and greatly appreciated. I ask you to please subscribe, to like, and hit the notification bell. That is the one thing that you can do to support this channel, me and my dreams, and the guests that come on their dreams and their messages to get out into the public. Today, I get the pleasure of sitting again with Jerry Maynard. He is an enrolled tribal member of the Menominee tribal nation in northern Wisconsin. Jerry's mother was Wolf Clan and his father was Blue Heron Clan. Jerry was also taught and trained by the Hopi elders from northern Arizona, specifically the Bluebird Clan, the historians, storytellers of the tribe, and has been given permission from his elders to carry the responsibility of being a storyteller, prophecy keeper, pipe carrier, ceremony leader, and wisdom keeper. Jerry has been asked to speak and to share what has been placed in his care in many places throughout Turtle Island and currently resides in Southern Oregon. Thank you. Hi, Jerry Maynard. How are you?
Good. It's so wonderful to see you again.
You too. You too. It's wonderful to have you back on. It is my honor to sit with you for the second time now.
Yes.
So, life is good.
Yeah, life is good. Yeah.
Good. Wonderful. All right. Well, let's get started. Where would you like to begin?
Well, as normally when I'm asked to speak, the first thing I do is I acknowledge those that give me everything and all of us, everything that we need. So I usually open up with a prayer.
Okay.
Yoji, nurse ingwa, tusqua mingu, tewa, shiknungwa, musa. Yoji, nurse ingwa, hopik nakam, tetchik nakam, tevyik nakam, kunyak nakam. Ha sa'a, ha qa'a, ha tamsi, ha nahi. Oh, Creator, Earth Maker, Grandmother Earth, spirits of the four directions, guardians of those directions, four elements of life. Call upon our ancestors, our grandparents, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, male relatives and female relatives, all those who have went before us, as well as the generations yet to come. I call upon Tvosiam, the animal nations, our elder brothers and sisters, from the plant nations to the standing ones, the trees, to the spirits of the waters, to the rock nations, to the mountain beings, the little people and the big people, our elder brothers and sisters, the animal nations that have been here way before we were, that have so much to teach us, those who creep and crawl upon and within Mother Earth, those of the four-leggeds, those finned ones, and those who live in the waters, to the winged beings, as well as to the other two-leggeds, all the human beings. I send forth this voice out to all of you, to all of creation, to all that is, asking you to hear this voice. Have pity on us. Come, sit with us on this day. Be present with us. Guide our words, our thoughts. Fill us with your love, your light, your healing, your protection, and your wisdom. And all my relations. Naha.
Dietonosia, salutia satariata, aidita, daya.
Mm, thank you.
Beautiful. Oh, you can just feel the relaxation,
Mhm.
the relief in the physical body and the energy around.
It's very important, especially during these times,
It
to pay
is.
attention to those simple, powerful things
Mm,
that all the things in the world do not have an effect on and do not change. That beautiful sunrise, the
mm,
sun itself, the moon, the earth beneath us that always is there, giving us life, sustaining us,
mm-hmm,
always there loving us,
mm,
and the animals and each other.
mm-hmm. Magnificent. Magnificent. Mm. So you are a keeper of wisdom, of storytelling, of many teachings. Brother, what would you like to teach today? What would you like to share?
Well, today there's so much going on.
Mm. Yes,
There's
there is.
and it seems so heavy,
Mm,
especially if our attention is drifted into the mass media
mm,
and all of the news and all of the stories. And with that prayer, I always begin with that prayer, but that prayer reminds us of the beautiful things in life that we have that are still beautiful.
mm,
We have each other. We have the natural world, all the animals living within it. We have that beautiful sun. We have the rains. We have the moon. We have all those things, and we have each other.
mm-hmm.
And so,
I know.
one of the things, so there was this time that this woman was tried decided to get away and take a vacation. She hadn't taken a vacation in a long time.
Mm,
And so she decided she always wanted to see the Southwest, Arizona in particular.
mm,
So she went out and she began driving and she decided she didn't want to see the things that all the tourist things that normally everybody sees. So she decided to get off of the highway and travel the, the county roads and to see she wanted to see the canyons, she wanted to see the mesas, she wanted to see the wildlife. She wanted to see those beautiful things that most people drive by and don't even know that exist. So
mm-hmm.
she was doing that, and she was amazing. Right off, she saw deer, she saw beautiful birds, and she saw eagles and hawks, and she saw all these amazing, wonderful things. And she even came across a herd of elk crossing the road in front of her that she took time to pause and to see as it crossed in front of her. She saw antelope bounding over the hills away from the roadsides, and it was amazing. And she took this one turn down this county road, and there didn't seem to be much down there. In the distance, though, she noticed, she said there seemed to be something on the side of the road, on the edge of the road.
Mm,
So she slowed down. It didn't seem to move. It was there. And as she got closer, she couldn't really tell what it was. It was something that seemed to be very close to the earth and maybe laying on the earth. She got close, and as she got closer, she saw it was a Native American man.
mm.
And he was laying on his side with his head on the ground, his ear to the earth. And she got closer and she rolled her passenger window down. And before she could speak, he raised his hand and he pointed further down the road in the direction she was going. And he said, "Blonde woman, red convertible Ford Mustang, music blaring, driving about 10 miles, 15 miles over the speed limit,
Mm.
talking on her cell phone, not paying attention to where she's going." And she got all excited. She couldn't believe this. She said, "Oh my God." She said, "I believe you. That's down that way." She said, "And you could tell all that just by putting your ear to the ground?" And he dropped his arm very tired and he said, "No, I'm telling you that that's the one that ran me over."
Oh my gosh, that's great. Go get her and bring her back. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. What a
But I
beautiful
started.
story, though. No, that's the woman ran me over. Oh gosh. Oh, oh my gosh.
And I begin with that humor because that's
Yes.
what we have to remember is we have each other. We have our sense of humor. This one thing that has always marked my people is that even through the toughest times, we
Mm,
were always so quick to laugh, so
yeah.
quick to enjoy life and each other and the
Hmm.
beauty of the life in the world,
Yeah.
and to not take ourselves so seriously.
Yeah. Do you
And
believe that everything is happening for us, not to us?
yes, I firmly believe that.
I do
And
too.
during these times, that's hard to grasp and it's hard to keep sight of.
It is. It is. I came across a quote um, from, I don't know if you know her, Esther. She channels Abraham Hicks for Law of Attraction. And she says, we're so preventative. She says,
Hmm.
if you stop trying to prevent what you think you need to prevent, that releases the resistance.
Hmm.
And then you can, what she says is go into your vortex, and live from there.
Hmm.
Because what you're working so hard to prevent is in your field and it's hanging out.
Hmm.
And if you drop the prevention, then what you're trying to prevent leaves your field and leaves your reality.
Yes.
And that hit me so hard. Um, just in the most simplistic things that we do, that we've been taught that we are supposed to do.
Hmm.
And it really can come down to when you feel that rising within you, laugh,
Yeah.
because that cuts the resistance immediately.
Hmm. Yeah. And that's why I began with that joke. And I
It's,
guarantee people listening, including yourself, were expecting some very profound wisdom to come out of it.
yeah, but that's great. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
It happens to me all the time. So I'll be someplace in a region of the country that I've never been in,
Yeah.
very unfamiliar with, not to mention just, not very familiar with the vegetation in that area. And it'll be a nature area sometimes because I go to those places. And someone never fails, sees me, notices I must be Native American,
Mm.
and they have to ask me, what could you tell me what this plant is? And is this medicinal and how could I use it? Or what is this tree? And uh, I wanted to know about the difference between this tree and that tree. And I look at them and I say, well, I would love to help you. I would definitely love to help you. I'm not from this area though.
Yeah.
And I'm not familiar with this vegetation. Oh, but aren't you Native American? I said, yes, I am. But let me tell you where my reservation is from. Let me tell you the places I've been. And I'm not familiar with this plant. This plant doesn't grow in the areas I've been in. So I don't know. So many people assume that if you're Native
It-
American, first of all, you have this deep wisdom, this deep connection with the earth. And you can hold up your finger and a bird will land on it.
yeah.
And and I used to love it because my wife, who's passed, she was Cherokee Lenape. She was also English and Irish, so she had lighter skin. She had lighter eyes. She had blue eyes, and she knew so much more about both plants and plant medicine than I do.
Okay.
My studies were along different lines. I know some about plant medicines, and if someone asks me for help, they'll show me the plant that's needed in the area that I can find to help them. But other than that, it was my wife that knew about that stuff. And so
Yeah.
they'd be asking me, she'd be standing right next to them, and I would step back and I'd say, but however, my wife, who is also Native American,
Yeah.
uh, and chances are she knew, and more often than not, she knew, and she'd come out with all this stuff and expectations.
It-
The looks and everything is just
It's
so
funny.
the one that looks Indian, we'll ask him.
Yeah. Yeah. When people find out that that I have Cherokee and Apache on different sides of my family, they start with the and I'm like, I just reach down into my roots and I pull it up. I'm like, and you
Hmm.
can do the same thing or Google
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Hmm. Yeah, I have
Because I
people.
am by no means an expert.
Hmm. I have people come up and ask me to smudge their home for them.
Yeah.
And I say,
Well,
okay, but I'm just like you. I'm a human being just like you. Me doing it or you doing it, it's the medicines that create that cleanse the area.
yeah.
It's not me. Don't look to me as this savior, this be all end all. You
Yeah.
know, because the most important thing about many spiritual paths direct you to looking within yourself for that source of truth.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, following your higher guidance, your higher self or your spirit, and
Mm-hmm.
following that, using that connection to
Yeah.
connect to that deeper truth that our spirits all know.
Yeah. And that really rings a bell with me because when I would use sage or Palo Santos, and then other herbs, and even to this day, I honor them with respect for the properties that they hold and for the
Hmm.
spirit that they are.
Hmm.
And so I don't put like I could never come up with something to say. Like people, I would go and cleanse homes and stuff like that, right? And I would just start speaking Native American. And I didn't had no idea what I was speaking, but I would
Hmm.
connect with the herb, with the whatever I was using,
Hmm.
and it would lead and guide, and it would become the guide.
Hmm.
And people are like, well, what do you say? What is the prayer? What is your, and I go, well, my intention is always love and honor and respect.
Hmm.
And I choose to revere what we've been given on this earth. All of the tools, all of the herbs, the food
Hmm.
that I eat, even when I don't know where it comes from, you know?
Hmm.
And so then I started asking, I'm like, well, why, like all these people come up with all these different prayers and stuff, and why couldn't, and they take me back and they go, but you don't understand, you are connecting with the energy of what you're using, and it is doing what it is designed to do because of the
Hmm.
honor and the love and the grace that you give it.
Hmm. Yeah.
If we all did that, wow.
Yeah. Imagine starting our day out like that. Everyone started their day out like that with gratitude and giving love to ourselves first and to the outer world after that.
Yeah.
And it began that way. Wow. So it erases all the things going on in the future in the other countries and in the struggles around us, and it brings us to that moment.
Yeah.
And in that moment, there's things to be thankful for. There's beauty there.
Hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
I was going to say that I was always taught that the most important thing, and it was told to me over and over again when I first began my path. I was just a young kid. I was, in my early 20s, 19 and 20 when I began this path with the Hopis. And I was always I wanted to do everything right. I wanted to make sure to know all the details, and so I do it the right way. And you know,
Yeah.
and I was told that the most important thing and the first most powerful thing you must have is the proper heart.
Mm.
Everything flows from there. And I tell people all that. People ask me, well, you spoke and you shared. It was so beautiful. Could you write that down for me? I said in native ways, we don't have any rote memorized prayers that we say.
Right.
There are certain things that we always acknowledge and
Mm.
ask for guidance and help, like Creator
Mm.
and the things that I did today in my prayer. But there's no set way to do that. It always comes from your heart.
Yeah.
And when I speak, people have asked me, to speak many places and wanted to know what my speech was and wanted to know what I was going to talk about. And I said, I can give you a general guideline,
Yeah.
but that's all I can give you. I said, because I let my spirit and Creator guide what I share and what I speak. I
Yeah.
don't I don't have anything memorized. I have all these teachings and all the things that I've been given. They come
Mhm.
out as they're supposed to come out. And I
Yeah.
trust in that guidance.
Me too. I've done conferences internationally, like virtually.
Mhm.
Um, and they're like, okay, you give us your bullet notes on what, so, and I'm like, I don't have any bullet notes. I can't tell. It's in I just kind of jump out there. It's like, hey,
Mhm. Yeah.
and, it's mostly wrapped around the innate and empowerment of listening to your body and talking to the cells of your body and listening to that and working within that system. And um, if the energy feels blech, then it's ugh.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
And that's what I usually say. And they go, who who contacted you about speaking at this conference? And I'm like, but then, once you do it that way and they see it that way,
Mhm.
it it changes. More people become spontaneous in their speeches in their TED Talks,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Mhm.
No bullet points here.
I had a friend of one of my elders, actually, but he was always more comfortable when I looked at him as simply, my older brother, uh, Ivava in Hopi. My
Mm,
older brother, literally, is what that means.
mm,
And but he was an elder. I mean, he carried so much wisdom and the power that when he chose to call upon the spirits and to conduct ceremony was amazing.
mm.
But he always just wanted to be looked at as a fellow brother. He didn't want me to put him on a pedestal.
Yeah.
But I was with him and I was learning with him, and this young man came onto the Hopi reservation, and he was guided and directed to come speak with him. His name was Hawk, and he offered him some tobacco and said that he wanted to know how to pray. And Hawk smiled and looked at him and said, "Are you from around the local area here?" He said, "Yes." He says, "Oh, so you coming here isn't difficult?" He said, "No." He said, "Okay." He said, turned to me. He said, "Jerry, what's your name again?" He said, "The young man." The young man told him, "Dave." He said, "Dave here wants to know how to pray." He said, "Tomorrow morning's work for you?" I smiled and I said, "Sure." And so he turned to Dave. He said, "Okay, come tomorrow morning." He said, and we'll start to teach you how to pray. So the next morning came, and it was beautiful. The sun was shining and everything, and he showed up, and he told him before he left to wear something comfortable, something he can move around in, and good shoes. So he showed up, and he said, "Okay." He said, "You ready, Jerry?" I said, "Yep." And I had no idea what he had in mind, but he said if you want, he said you can stretch before we begin. And the guy looked at him very strangely, but he went and did some stretches and loosened up. He said, "Okay, let's go." and he started jogging. We jogged for about, I'd say about an hour and a half, 2 hours
Oh,
almost. And then, eventually made our way back to this where we started from. And he said, okay. He said, come tomorrow, same time. So this went on. And the confusion on the man's face was,
right.
I had to work hard not to laugh. And this went on about 3, 4 days. And finally he said, wait, before we begin, can I ask a question? He said, yeah. He said, I wanted to learn how to pray. He said, yes, I know. Are you ready to begin now? It finally dawned on him that what he was being taught was that he was being taught that no matter what you're doing, we were running.
Mhm.
Turn that into the best prayer you can.
Yeah.
That what you think, what you feel, what you say, what you do, that is a prayer.
Hmm.
This world has conditioned us that a prayer, the only time we should communicate with that higher source and the beautiful beings that help that source is when we are in trouble, when we are
Hmm.
in need. But no, as I was taught, beautiful teaching I was taught is that we're all made up of the same sacred substance as everything else. We are all a piece of creator. We have that piece within us. That is our spirit. So we have that piece of creator within us. So we can be creators too. And we do create. We
Hmm.
create every moment of every day. That's our prayer. What is
Hmm.
that prayer? What do we choose to make it this day, this moment?
Hmm.
You know? And so if everything out there is seeming so dark and ugly, then what I want to do is I want some joy. I want some happiness. I want
Yes.
I want to see some of that in there. And I was always taught that the first place it has to come from is within me. So it has to
Hmm.
be alive within me before I can give it away. So share that joy. Feel it myself. Give that gratitude. See all the beautiful things and the love that I have for all these amazing things in my life and what I'm thankful for. And the humor and the joy.
Yeah.
And then share that with people.
Yeah. If you want my guides, they have
Mhm.
been cracking some jokes lately and I have like, I mean, belly laughing. And I'm so glad. I was like, at first, I was like, God, I hope nobody's watching. I'm just like laughing out of the blue, but I'm hearing this, and it's like, oh my God, because life can get lifey.
Hmm.
And I know mine, they have a great sense of humor if I will tune into it and listen to it, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So if I can get out of my own way and listen, I usually end up laughing, like cry laughing. Like it's so funny. It's so
Wow.
funny. Um, when we talked earlier, you said that you had a simple exercise for our viewers, our community, um, that could assist them um,
Yes.
if they are choosing to watch what's playing out and be involved in that. Um,
Mhm. Yeah. So all this beauty in this world, all the life in this world was given that life, that Hiksikachiva, that sacred breath of life
mm,
was breathed into all things to give it its animation, its energy. Every time we breathe in and every time we breathe out, that that breath that we're taking in, it's a shared thing. Everything inhales, everything exhales, plants, animals, everything in some way, shape, or form does that exchange. So we're literally, it's not separate. That breath is a communal breath of energy of life
mm,
shared by all things.
mm,
So this is part of a greater teaching that it wouldn't do it justice to go into that greater teaching to the time that we have today. But
yeah.
I will focus on this one part of the four parts of self. That first part of self is called the breath of life.
Okay.
So, all of those who are listening now and us who are here, take that time to first picture that beautiful light that is all that life, that beautiful light, that white light that's got all those wonderful colors of all the spectrum sparkling
Mhm.
within it. Take and picture that, breathe that light in, breathe that breath in slowly and as deeply as you can. Hold it for a little while and then slowly exhale. Do that 4 times.
Oh, my hands are hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It brings that energy to life within us. That energy that
Mhm.
comes out of our hands for healing,
Mhm.
that energy of life. We just breathe that in. You
Yeah.
can't get you can't get much simpler than that. You can't
Mm-mm.
get much pure than just that beautiful breath. You can't live more in the moment than focusing on your breathing.
Mm.
Those other thoughts, those other feelings are going to pop into your head. But if you concentrate and always bring yourself back to that breath, if we think about it, that breath of life is the foundation for everything. It is, it's just autonomic. We can't
Mm.
stop. We can try to hold our breath. Eventually, if we have enough willpower to hold our breath to the point our body will pass out so we can begin breathing again.
Mhm.
It's an autonomic system. It's an autonomic function.
Yeah.
So people don't think about it too often. They think that, well, so we don't have to take care of that breath. We don't have to think about it, but we have to care for that breath because think about how that breath is affected by our feelings and our thoughts and our
Mhm.
interactions with the world. So you watch a
And our
scary movie.
nervous systems.
Exactly. Yeah.
Our nervous systems. You can calm your nervous system through breath work.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's powerful.
Hmm. Yeah. They say that in that teaching it begins with the breath of life because that's the foundation that carries and holds everything else. And it really
Mhm.
does. Think about it. When you're watching a scary movie or the suspenseful music on a TV show and the suspense is building, pay attention sometime. How are
Yeah.
you breathing? Are you holding your breath? Or is your
Yeah.
breathing becoming more shallow and more fast?
Yeah.
The- So your emotions, our emotions and our moods affect that breath. Our thoughts affect that breath. And sometimes you get so mad at something that you're either not breathing at all or you're breathing really fast, really shallow, and really quick. And that affects your system, that affects your nervous system, that affects everything within you. So if we focus on that breath, we take the time to look throughout the day, check in on yourself, do a check in and see how am I breathing right now.
Mhm.
Pay attention to your feelings and say, when I feel this, what does my breath do? And when I take and I bring that back to a full deep breath, even when I'm feeling that, how does that affect that feeling? How does that affect my perspective on the situation I'm in? Do things become clearer, more simpler? Chances are they will.
Yeah.
Even if they don't, our ability and our thoughts of how to handle the situation becomes more clear
Mhm.
simply by our breathing.
Yeah, and I want to add, like, when you're like, for me, when I get that really deep, full lung breath, I
Hmm.
yawn when I exhale.
Hmm.
That tells me right there that my breathing is on point.
Hmm.
But when we go back to like watching like a suspenseful, movie or whatever, I I will all of a sudden, like recently I've started noticing that when I'm sitting in my chair and I'm all nice and cuddled up or whatever, um, I'll notice my legs being tense. or my feet will start to tingle.
Mm-hmm.
Like my nervous system will start to move. And I'm like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, pause. Hang on a
Yeah.
second. Before
Mm-hmm.
we continue, breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not that you can't enjoy your thrillers and your dramas and all that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. Not we're not saying that. It's
No.
just
Mm-hmm.
it's but it is it our nervous system doesn't know the difference sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
unless
Yeah.
it's been trained to know. You can
Mm-hmm.
train your nervous system to know not to go into that
Mm-hmm.
state. It's just a TV show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I've caught myself because I'm training, trained mine to do that. And I
Mm-hmm.
catch myself and I can feel my legs get really tight. And then my
Mm-hmm.
feet will do the rocket boot thing. And I'm like, oh, hold on. Get back to the breath. Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're putting those training wheels back on.
Yep, that's right. And
Oh,
that's
beautiful.
it brings us, and we're laughing now.
Yeah.
And as we're laughing, you especially when you have deep belly laughs, and after the joke I told to begin everything with, when you're laughing, you laugh, and you have to take a breath in. You're
Yeah.
laughing, and so just in laughter alone, that breathing is activated in a way that's not when we're scared or we're anxious or we're stressed or we're angry. Laughter brings that breath, that deep breath back into us.
Mm,
So even in joy, that breath is affected in a positive way. When we're at
mhm,
peace, chances are that our breathing is more even and more deep also. When
mhm.
we sleep, of course it is.
Yeah.
So that simple thing brings us back to the present moment, makes us focus on that very simple thing.
Mm,
We're always breathing. And if we focus on the breath itself, we're not focused on all those things that are stressing the breath. We're focused on simply breathing as deeply and powerfully as we can. And all those out there watching this, those that know about somatic breathing,
mm,
you can literally bring yourself to different altered states of consciousness by how you
mm,
by that breath. Bring yourself into a deeper connection with your higher self
mm.
in that way, simply by your breath and how you breathe. So that itself is so powerful, is so healing just by simply breathing in that deep way and concentrating on how we breathe and how our life affects that breath and to make
Yeah.
that a simple exercise throughout our day. We
Mm.
become aware of so much. I speak for myself. I became aware of so many things when I started focusing on that
Me
about
too.
myself.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Mhm. Yeah.
I did one type of breath work a while back, and they warn you that you can like pass out from it.
Hmm.
And I did, like when I came back up, I was like, whoa. I don't
Hmm.
think I've done it since, but I do focus on the deep breaths throughout the day to keep
Hmm.
that um conscious state.
Hmm.
Um, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah. Yeah. Helps us be in the moment. It really
Be
does.
in the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, for me, anyways, it helps me when I've my breath is more calm and more at peace and deep. Um, I don't tend to look at the world the same way.
Yeah.
I'm able to s- almost kind of look at it more objectively than subjectively, based on how I'm feeling about it. I'm able to look and see what it is, see it for what it is, and not have any preconceived notions or things attached to it. I just see it, so that by seeing it that way, I'm able to see it clearer and see my part in it a little bit clearer and how I can do something to contribute in a good way
Mm,
rather than just react. This way, I'm taking a conscious action. I'm taking conscious movements. So I'm consciously interacting with life rather than reacting to life.
hmm.
I'm, I am taking a part in life rather than being a victim to the circumstances.
Yeah. So my guides have brought that to me, or my awareness has brought that to me. Um, like I know what's going on,
Hmm.
but I don't have to live, I don't have to live in that,
Hmm.
all of that. I can be aware of it and know that it's there and not react to it
Hmm.
and not feed it. But let me ask you a question on that note, though.
Hmm.
So, by not reacting to it or giving, or, like if you want to speak up about something, is that denying yourself?
Well, there's a difference. A friend of mine, their favorite saying is, you can absorb, you can observe, you can observe what's going
Yeah.
on in life around you. But there's a difference between observing and absorbing it.
Yes,
I don't have to take it in to become a part of me,
right.
to look at something and say, okay, what can I do to help? So in that way, I'm still interacting it. I am becoming an active part of it. I am not distancing myself from it, other than I'm coming from a place where it's not, my emotions aren't guiding my actions, my thoughts, my,
Mm,
I'm not reacting or acting from a place of fear or
yeah.
anger or judgment. In this way, I'm acting in a calm, assertive way rather than passive or aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah. I, when I did a global, reading where I tap into the all of what's going on. And when I tapped in first, I got emotional, but then during the reading, I got the wisdom card, and I rarely use my shamanic deck, but I went to it, and I got the witness, and it says the witness has always been your ally, and that hit me on a personal level, because I will always go, most of the time, I will say, okay, I'm going to observe so that absorption, what is not mine, you know,
Hmm.
doesn't come through.
Yeah.
Um, and it really well, I got more questions now, but it really put a lot of stuff in perspective,
Hmm.
because I would feel like, okay, am I observing or being the witness too much?
Hmm.
Because there's that balance.
Hmm. Hmm.
Can
So
you touch on?
yeah, so like I talked about earlier, what we choose in our
Mm,
life, every moment is a prayer. So what do we choose to be in each moment? So in that way, I'm not just observing the situation around me. I'm choosing what I choose to be to bring to that situation.
mm,
So then I'm actively still involved in the life around me.
yeah.
And I was always taught to see what is missing
Mm,
in the situation. And if I can see what's missing, then the best way to help that situation is to be that what's missing. If it's empathy, if it's compassion, if it's love, if it's kindness,
hmm
if whatever that is that's missing, then if I want to see it in the world around me, first I have to embody it. First it has to live within me.
mm.
And
I
then
wonder if I connected to you yesterday, because I connected to my shamanic deck right away, and your name did come up, and it was the cards did ask, "What is your intention?" And I turned and I looked and I said, "My intention, wholeheartedly, fully, energetically, is unwavering love." That's my intention. Wow.
So,
What a what a correlation. It just shows how connected we truly are.
mhm, yeah.
Mhm.
Speaking on that love and speaking on that connection that that you mentioned, the very words in the subject itself triggered a story.
Okay.
So, I'm to share the story with all
Okay.
of you here. In creation times, and as I tell this story, focus on that breath and take that deep breath in as you're hearing, as those of you here and us listening, focus on that deep breath and breathe in as you and just be with the story. So in creation times, the great mysteries had many gifts to give to all things, everything created. Each living thing, everything was imbued with these beginning gifts. These then were the gifts of beauty. The first gift of beauty that was given was love. Everything in creation was given the power of love. For this cause beings to cling together and care for another, for each other, in our nations, our clans, our families, and all relationships. This was the first gift of beauty. The second gift of beauty that was given to all things was sound, song, speech. The second gift of beauty was that sound, that song, that speech. Everything in life was given that.
Mm,
For this enabled the power and the gift of love to be shared with each other.
mm,
Everything in life is given its song, its sound. Humans, animals, plants, trees, water, rocks, planets, stars, galaxies. Everything has its song, its sound, as it moves through this life. This, then, was the second gift of beauty.
mm,
The great mysteries had
mm,
many gifts to give, but this would mean that everything in life would be a receiver. So there would be both givers and receivers. Everything in life was identified as male or female. This was the third gift of beauty. The fourth gift of beauty was intuition, inner knowing, for this enabled us to always hear that beautiful light and love that is our spirit, that connects us to all that is,
mm.
to that universal family. In that way, that is our beacon, our source, that we are never alone. We are never disconnected. We all are a part of the all. This intuition, this inner knowing, was the fourth gift of beauty. As we practice as givers and receivers with these gifts, it helps us to understand the lessons of this world of great beauty.
Mhm,
And as understanding comes, it helps us to perfect our spirit on this earth walk.
mhm.
These then are the gifts of beauty. And that is the story.
It's beautiful. The beautiful story. Mm,
And as it says in the story, if we practice with those things,
mm,
giving and receiving them,
mhm,
then we begin to understand those relationships. We begin to understand how that love flows through all those things, or it doesn't, depending on what we choose to give and what our gift is that we're giving and what we're receiving. which is also very important.
Yeah. So we didn't discuss this, and you might not want to go into this yet, but it came up while you were talking about that. It popped up about disclosure and that how the Hopi,
Hopi.
Hopi. I always
Yeah.
want to say Hopi, but I don't know why I say Hopi because God, I lived in that area forever.
Mhm.
Um, they knew about, you know, beings coming to the
Mhm.
earth and that they were already here.
Mhm.
That they were just, you know,
Yeah.
that there's an implied veil, which
Mhm.
there is really no veil
Mhm.
because everything is right here.
Yeah.
Um, do you with hold on, because I like to use my words carefully. The consumption of disclosure that is going on right now everywhere.
Mhm.
There's, I have noticed, not within me, but I have noticed that there's mass fear.
Mhm.
And do you have something that would help a teaching or just anything to help ease or what are your beliefs around that part of the the prophecy?
Well, this time they say that all things that were covered up
Mm,
and that were hidden
mm,
would come forth,
mm,
would come into the light of day. And so we're seeing all these things with the trafficking and the lies of politicians and the empty promises, and now they're not even being that they're being more bold and blunt about things rather than trying to promise one thing and give another. Instead, they're just coming out and saying, this is what we're doing. You can't do nothing about it, basically. It's all coming forth. It seems so heavy, but there are those Native Americans have experienced these things that everyone's experiencing now for
mm.
hundreds of years,
Yeah.
hunted, being hunted to extinction almost, you know, and being picked up just because of the color of your skin or just because this is what I think about this person. People are so shocked and because it's happening to on everyday life now, to either us or someone that we know very well.
Yeah.
So it seems that it's, oh my God, this is all so heavy. This has all been here the whole
Hmm.
time,
Yeah.
but we've chosen to put blinders on. We've chosen to keep our little niche and
Hmm.
live this pattern that we've chosen to live, so we don't see that. And now it's coming forth so we can see it all.
Yeah, the bags are being yanked off the heads.
Hmm.
The bags are being yanked off of the heads of the ones that are not privy to really wanting to see
Hmm.
and know that it has always been here. So that was kind of where I was as well. I was
Hmm.
curious to see what you had to offer in that area.
I always refer back to the thing that I was always taught, to not look at things as good or bad in that linear way of thinking.
Yeah.
Either this is into the spectrum or that into the spectrum,
Hmm.
but to look at every moment of life as an opportunity.
Mm.
Okay, so I see what that is. I see all of that. It's coming forth and being exposed to everyone so that we can see, okay, I see that way. I see that way of life. I see that way of being and doing. Do I want that or do I want something else?
Well, how do you feel about extraterrestrials
So,
walking, showing them, showing themselves to, because I'd be like, hey, what's up?
yeah, Me too.
That's the way I look at it. I'd be like, "Hey,
Mhm,
what's up?" I'm like,
mhm.
"Here you are."
Thank
I,
God you're here.
I mean, I might pass out a couple times. I won't lie. I mean, that's the human part of me, right? It's gonna have a
Mhm.
reaction to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But my larger being, my heart and my,
Hmm.
that ancient part is gonna go, family.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. And so that, as far as disclosure about that is concerned, is um I won't talk about the what the things the governments choose to release or anything about that.
Yeah, no. Just how do your
Because
people, how does, like, how would the,
the Hopi people, I can't say anything more than the fact that there is a clan,
okay,
that their sole responsibility is, I'm not even allowed to mention the name of the clan, but their sole
right.
responsibility is keeping in touch with and keeping open the lines of communication between our starborn brothers
Yes.
and sisters. So
Oh,
that's knowledge.
mm,
I've been in Hopi where the Kasumbi, the plaza, all of a sudden is just bathed in this beautiful, brilliant white light, the
oh
bluish
my
white light.
gosh. Yeah.
And first time it happened, everyone else just takes some time to pause, and you'll see some put some cornmeal or tobacco down. But other than that, life goes on. But there's this beautiful smile on everyone's faces.
Yeah.
First time it happened, so after I asked my teacher, and he said that was just our relatives letting us know that they're here with us.
Mm,
'Cause there was no source for this. This light was just everywhere,
yeah.
and I'm like, how is this possible? But some of those beings, have long since traversed the evolution that we're at now, where they can incarnate, take physical form,
Mm,
or just be that pure energy, pure spirit at will. And in that state, many things that seem amazing or magical to us, which is just the laws of nature in a scale that we have yet to achieve awareness
mm,
of. Again,
mm,
I say again because I believe humanity has been at a point where we had a deep awareness of these things, and
yeah.
it's still within us. So that those beautiful moments like that were always there. There's an old show by Leonard Nimoy, In Search of,
Hmm.
that some may remember, where he went and he was exploring the different things, like like Unsolved Mysteries do, the Bigfoot and the lights in the sky and
Yeah.
aliens and all these things. He went to Hopi and he began asking all kinds of questions about where to go and what to do and how can he, and he wanted and take, and he didn't get much.
Mm,
My elder told me that if he had simply come and came to the people in a sincere way and said that he wanted to experience this contact and this experience for himself, he would have been shown exactly where to go to, and he would have had a profound experience that he could have taped and
mm.
he could have, yeah, shown to the world. But instead, he came with a different attitude, so he was given nothing. It's commonplace. I mean, I lived in Arizona for many years, not on the Hopi reservation. I
Yeah.
mean, the place I lived, I could go out and I could look out at the mountains at a certain time of night or early morning, actually, and I would always watch the ships rise up out of the mountains.
Mm,
And I'm not even sure if they were ships. I mean, some of the things they did were amazing.
mm.
These beautiful colored lights would rise up, and it was beautiful and it was amazing. And
It's a
you could
special
sense,
energy.
yeah, you could sense a presence, you could sense a consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And so, regardless of what humanity is doing, and those that tend to think that they're in power, the governments and
Hmm.
things, those beings are here. This is an amazing time in humanity's in our growing up, so to speak,
Yeah.
where that we're being given a choice to let go of all that heavy stuff that's coming to the surface, so we can choose to let it go and
Hmm.
not let it be a part of our life. If we choose, as a whole, as humanity as a whole, we
Yeah.
can choose to say no, we want something different now.
Yeah.
So,
I believe that line's already been drawn in the sand. I
oh,
believe there's enough of us
mm-hmm,
that have said, hold on a minute. Just hang on a second. We know how to say no, and we know how to say yes, and we know what each one means verbatim.
Hmm. So, knowing the prophecies, as I was been fortunate enough to have been shared with the prophecies about the different, they say this is the fourth world or fourth era, fourth age, and every other world ended with the purification time, with the
Oh,
cleansing, because humanity had gotten things all so far out of whack, and the earth needed to be cleansed and purified. That cycle of purification and renewal is a cycle that the earth, as a living being, goes through its naturally, anyways.
mm-hmm,
But this purification had to happen, and only those that could still hear Creator's voice and still walked and followed the Hopi say the song of life could hear what they were to do and what they were where they were to go to be safe during those times. So only a handful of humanity, so to speak, survived to begin again when the world renewed itself and brought it into the next world, so to speak. However, this time humanity has a choice. We're still kind of walking that razor's edge, but
mm-hmm,
like you're saying, enough of us have woken up that this may be the first time in all the worlds and all the histories that we don't have to have a major cataclysm, a major purification, that we can choose something different, that we
mm-hmm,
can go forward. So those that cleansing time, like I said, the earth has to cleanse and renew herself, especially because of all the damage we've done to her.
mm-hmm,
But that cleansing could be a more gentle thing that we could work with rather than be victims of.
mm-hmm,
And we can choose to go forward in this way together, in a good way, in a beautiful way.
mm-hmm.
That choice and that opportunity is right there for us. And
Yeah.
humanity has awoken enough. Enough of us, like you said, have woke up
Mm-hmm.
to the truth of reality, the beauty of reality and of
Yeah.
life, that we can choose for the first time. Enough of us can be alive to choose something else.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this, I see this, and it's the first time for all these the histories of thousands and thousands, millions of years of the Hopi history to go back to the beginning of the world.
Yeah.
And this is the first time that humanity has reached that stage where we can do this. We can do this in a beautiful way together.
Yeah.
There'll be those that'll choose that illusion and that fight, and that's their choice, and that will lead them to the ultimate conclusion of where that's going to lead. But enough of us will choose something else, where the
Yeah.
majority of the world can go somewhere else, someplace different, someplace better.
I was sitting outside yesterday after I did the reading, and this is something that's come up for me for actually many years. It's like we've been kind of moved around to different locations that are very prominent locations. And we never understood, why we were moved to those prominent locations. And when I was sitting outside, I had several energies come and wrap around me from the back. And I got a little like, because it didn't feel like my guides, like like how I experience them, right?
Hmm.
And it was always a question of, I never felt at home. Wherever I went, it felt like a stopping point, and it never, like, I just wanted to feel at home somewhere.
Hmm.
And it really ramped up since me and my daughter have moved to Florida, to Jacksonville specifically.
Hmm.
And when they came in and they came around and they came around me, they were like, don't hold on, don't fear. Let relax, breathe. We want to address your feeling of not being at home.
Hmm.
You are in the places that you're meant to be. You are home here. You can feel at home here. You can be at home here. You are not alone. And it was just a relief. I was so giddy the rest of the day. It's like something in there clicked
Hmm.
that it was like, No matter where I'm at, I'm always home,
Hmm.
even in physicality.
Hmm.
And that was the point of the message.
Hmm.
And then it was just as fast as it came in, made its point, it it folded back out.
Hmm.
And it was like a, you're okay.
Yeah.
You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You have always been strategically placed exactly where you're supposed to be. Like I even had one come to me and go, "You honestly do not know who you are, do you?"
Hmm.
And I said, "Apparently I don't, but I'm learning."
Hmm.
And it was just, I heard it, I audibly heard a very humbling laugh.
Hmm. Like what would be given to a child, just a laughter
Yeah.
filled with
Yes.
love and peace and acceptance.
Yeah. It wasn't I'm laughing at you. It was
Hmm.
like, just wait.
Hmm.
You're like,
Yeah,
it was
wait till
like
you see.
that.
Yeah, wait till you see the butterfly that is within
Yeah,
you.
it wasn't scary. It wasn't like or anything like that. It was very loving. Um, and yeah, like a father, with his daughter almost.
And you spoke of disclosure. Those
Yes.
beings that are here watching over us right now,
Yeah.
some of those
Oh, I
benevolent
can
beings,
feel the
yeah,
pressure
mhm,
around me.
those benevolent beings that have humanity's best interests at heart,
Mm,
they're observing because
mhm,
they know that this beauty of where we're heading and what we're becoming is the plan. It can't be stopped. It can't be diverted. It can't be. It's going to happen, and they're just watching and waiting. If you've ever had the opportunity to see a butterfly emerge from a cocoon, it's amazing and it's beautiful,
mm,
that process. And they're getting to see and witness that process that they went through who knows how long ago, and
yeah.
who knows what other dimension that was in where they went through it at.
Well,
But
I
they're getting
believe
to
that it doesn't.
observe it.
Don't you believe that it affects them as well? Like their future,
Oh,
like it
yes.
affects. So they want us to, I mean, they're here helping us and guiding us because what happens during all of this directly affects them and they want to
Yes.
evolve everything
There is no
needs
separation,
right
as
is
as you've
evolving
mentioned.
together.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But but you can't help a butterfly out of its cocoon. All you can do is observe, because the struggle that the butterfly goes through as it gets out of that cocoon creates that flow of what it uses for blood to get to the rest of the wings, so the wings can be what they were meant to be, so that butterfly can be a butterfly, so it can fly, so it can live. So helping that butterfly out of the cocoon kills it. So
Mm,
all they can do is observe, because we have to go through every part of this process. It's important. It's really a gift. Like I said, it's an
mm,
opportunity for us to grow and to let go of those things that no longer serve us. That we've said, okay, I've learned from these hard teachings.
mm,
I've learned from greed. I've learned from
mm,
jealousy. I've learned from hatred and anger. I've
mm,
learned from these things. I've learned those hard lessons. I realize I don't have to learn those things this way anymore. I can set them aside and I can learn a different way.
excuse me.
And that's what
Yeah.
we're learning. And that's what we're choosing to let go of. And those beings are there to help in that way, simply by loving us, simply by seeing and believing in our potential and what we are becoming and what they know us to truly be already,
Yeah.
by that vibration, by
Mm,
that by that truth that they embody and they hold. That helps us in ways that I can't even begin to put into words. So that same thing is true for us also.
yeah.
When I look at the world around me, when I look at the beings and the life around me, to see that beauty,
Hmm. Mm.
And by seeing and acknowledging and knowing that that beauty is there in everything, in everyone, every living thing, that gives that that energy to help that beauty come forth by me acknowledging it around me and within me.
Yeah.
That's more powerful than anything I can physically do.
Yeah.
And they're
It
doing it.
comes, it feels it comes with a great responsibility.
Oh yes. Yeah.
That's been something very prevalent as well, is with great power, and not I don't mean power in a um
In, in a linear way of thinking.
yeah. Um and this is with great power comes great responsibility.
Hmm.
Um and it will sit you back and open your eyes and pin them open.
Because humanity's learned that lesson.
Yeah.
Okay, here's your world. Here's this world of beauty. This look at the solar system. We're the only one in the solar system that has this beautiful water, this beautiful life on it, like it is right now.
Yeah.
What we recognize life is a little bit different than what, our eyes are going to be open with that too, and what is alive and what isn't, what that life looks like. It takes many forms, but the beauty of this world, we were placed and created upon this world as a part of it,
Mhm.
and humanity was given that responsibility. Here's this beautiful gift that you are a part of. What are you going to do with it?
Mm.
So we're seeing that. We're seeing what our choices have brought to us. This is what
Mm.
we've brought ourselves to. I have to let my dog in. Give me a second.
Okay. Fine. Did you get your baby?
Yep, I got her. She's in.
Okay. Good.
But yeah, that's what we're seeing. We have brought ourselves to this point. People talk about how can a God let this happen? How can God let that happen? How can a loving God? Guess what? We were given the responsibility of what we chose to create and put on into this reality, into this world, into this physicality. We only have ourselves to blame. We also only have ourselves to thank when we take and turn this around. We do it together. So, in that way, we do it with all that is.
Mm.
When we realize, as that being said to you, you don't know who you are yet, do you?
Mm.
When we realize that we're a part of a beautiful whole
Mhm.
that has created all this, and we realize that and we begin acting accordingly, that we are the creators of this beauty or
Yeah.
this ugliness. We can choose that. When we choose to actively take part in that creation in a conscious way,
Mhm.
the beautiful things that can be done, we see it all the time. We see it in the kindness of strangers. We
Yeah.
see it in the smile that someone gives us. We see it in someone that will lay their life down to save another.
Yeah.
We see that beauty. It's always there. It's a part of us. It can't be separate from us. I believe that's who we are. We are that love. We are that beauty, that light. And
Mhm.
when we see that and understand that and
Mhm.
realize that we're never away from home and we're
Yeah.
never alone, and that what is done by the smallest of us affects the largest of us,
Mhm.
then we're getting someplace. Then
Mhm.
this is going to be an amazing fun time.
Yes. Yes. I as challenging as some may see it, I truly believe it is leading to where we need to evolve and go.
Mhm.
And it is like we have been prepared for this. And now it's time to pull out all the tools in the tool bags
Mhm.
and and come heart centered, um, while others are coming to the conclusions that what
You'll
is,
know, yeah,
yeah.
you'll notice when I speak that very rarely do I speak and say and speak strictly from a Native American standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
That's because that is one perspective,
Yeah.
only one
Hmm.
perspective.
Hmm.
All perspectives, all things are meant to work together and are meant to be present and work in harmony together to create that beauty.
Yeah, that's why I called my guides. I named my guides the Council of Many Paths because I couldn't, there's not just, there, I couldn't put names e- because there's so many. Does that make sense? There's
Oh,
so many, and the ones that come in the
mhm,
moments that they're needed, you know.
mhm,
And so I was like, and for others to grasp this, I put the Council of Many Paths because that's exactly what it is.
mhm.
Like that's the only name I could put on it, you know, um,
They're
because
all
there's
part,
so many different energies there.
and there is no separation between those energies.
No.
So, do I call my, so Ingwe is my name, or Jerry? Do I call? I have a designation for this part of Jerry. It's a finger, but
Yeah.
it's a part of me.
Yeah.
So this designates the purpose of this, but it's just designating a purpose. It's a part of the greater whole.
Yeah.
So that's why, like your guides, that whole, those would find it comical. Well, you can call me something different, but I'm you,
Yeah.
you
They're
know?
like
Yeah.
that. I could never get a name to stick, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Because it was like, like just hang on, just stop, just
Hmm.
stop. And then the Council of Many Paths came, that phrase came out, and it was like a stadium of like joy and cheer. It was like, okay, she's got that part. Okay, okay, now we can move forward.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
People go, what is the Council of Many Paths? I'm like, it's exactly what it is.
Hmm.
So
I believe our spirits are timeless and ageless, that we've
yeah,
been here since the beginning of it all. If there
yeah,
is any, where is the beginning and ending of a circle? There isn't one.
yeah.
So we've always been. So, to limit myself to being this one small aspect, this one small facet of a beautiful, many faceted, multifaceted crystal, so to
Mm,
speak, and say, this is who I am. I'm Native American. Okay, but that's one small facet.
yeah,
How many, how many lifetimes,
yeah.
how many places in the universe, in the dimensions of the different universes have I been? And am I something right now? Because there is no
Mm,
time, there is no past and present future. It's all happening in one moment.
yeah.
So focusing on, so there is a beauty to it. There is a beauty to this aspect in this culture that is Native American. There's a beauty
Mm,
to all of it, though. There's a
hmm.
beauty to every aspect, and that beauty and how that relationship between all those aspects, that sacred relationship, is what it's all about.
So amazing. So
And
amazing.
that's and in that way, you just gotta just in a roundabout way, you just got a teaching and understanding of the phrase, all my relations, we are all related, that the
Yeah.
natives use so often. It's
All my
more than just a
relations.
phrase.
Yeah.
It's a teaching, it's a prayer, it's an acknowledgement of a truth
Mm,
that as humanity we're coming to realize.
hmm. I've gone back to I don't know how to pronounce it's a Hokopono Pono phrase where it's please forgive me, I love you, thank you, I'm sorry. Um and I forgive myself.
Hmm.
And that brings you back to your 0 point. Um back to neutrality so that, you can keep coming back to your choice is how I see it.
Well,
Um,
kind of brings us full circle. That's what we started talking about.
yeah, it does. Well, if it's a little after one, so if you have anything else you'd like to speak on, I think it's been an amazing conversation. What a difference.
Hmm.
Would you
Yeah.
like to close with a prayer?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for asking. I would love to.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you'd like to speak on first that you'd like to speak on?
Um, no, I mean, there's not much that we haven't covered. Um,
That's that's true.
by
All
talking
right.
about by talking about all my relations that we're all connected and that it's all about sacred relationship, that pretty much says everything.
Yeah. Oh, so amazing.
So,
All right.
Tewa, Shtikununwa, Musa, Tuskwa Mingu, Hopononi, Techuna, Tevuka, Quiniwina, So'o, Kwa'a, Tumsi, Nahi, Tavosiam. Once again, I address all my relatives. I address Creator, Earthmaker, all that is, the great mysteries, Mother Earth,
Mm,
the guardians of the four directions, four elements of life, all those who have went before us, our grandmothers and grandfathers, our male relatives, female relatives, our elder brothers and sisters, the animal nations. I send forth this voice out to you again. Yoji, no sa ingo. And I give my gratitude,
mm,
my love, my
mm.
appreciation, my respect. Thank you for being here with us during this time. As we've talked about, there's never a moment you're not with us. I thank you for being here, for guiding our words, being with us during this time. And with that, I say, Nchai, Kukwai, Squally, thank you. Iingwatewa Dukachiu,
Mm,
all my relations.
mhm, mm. Jerry Maynard, thank you for being on the show again. It is such an honor.
Thank you for having me back again.
All right.
I enjoyed it, just like I enjoyed last time. Thank you so much. And thank all of you who listen.
Yes. If anyone has any questions, please leave them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and like and share. And I'm sure that Jerry will be making another appearance at some point. Mm, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you too.